Guys, it's me. It's Remy. I haven't uploaded in forever. Mainly because I'm too busy living that gamer lifestyle. You know how things go. My hair is different. Doesn't matter. We're here for the Brawlhalla weapons tier list for patch. Quick, someone tell me what patch it is. Shit, we're fucked. Patch notes. This patch is 4.07. Yep, 4.07. That's the patch. I'm very professional, as you can tell. All right. So this patch I didn't do a rundown for this patch, but this patch saw a lot of nerfs to the big weapons that were kind of taken over, and this is actually the BCX patch, so it's probably gonna be the last patch we see for Worlds. So we're gonna be playing Worlds on this. I'm gonna do another tier list before Worlds, just so it's updated and has my views updated, and yeah. So right off the bat, looking at SABCD, I don't think we're going to be going down to D tier, right? I think SAB is all we're going to be seeing. Maybe I'll leave the C tier there, and I'm not sure if we'll use it though because I don't know what could possibly be that bad right now. But if there is something, it's good to have it. So yeah, I'm gonna put C there, and we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start this off with bow over here. And the reason I'm gonna put bow over there is because uh, now that every big weapon is nerfed, we're probably gonna move into an area where you're looking more for what can get the damage out the fastest, right? And that's things like bow, gauntlet, sword. So I'm gonna put bow, and obviously second is gauntlets. And the only reason I put bow above gauntlets here is because bow counters gauntlets, right? So you're in a position where you could pick bow, but you could also pick gauntlets. I mean, you could pick gauntlets, but if you pick bow, bow would be gauntlets. Same thing with sword here. I would rather have bow above sword because it's slightly better. I mean, gauntlets above sword because it's slightly better than sword, but it also kind of loses to sword too. So say some people. So whatever. I think the matchup is even, but some people don't like it, so I'll leave it like that. But yeah, so that's the top three right now. I would say bow is the best weapon because it beats gauntlets, but all three of these weapons are around the same area, around even. They're all good for the same reason. They beat all the other weapons. They have free neutral, so that's two reasons right now. Having free neutral and beating all the other weapons is automatically good. They get their damage out fast, consistently. They're good off stage. And they have good kill pressure. Sword is going to kill you with downlight air recovery at 150. Gauntlets have their three piece for downlight nair recovery to kill you. And bow, while bow is like the worst for this type of thing for killing, it does the damage the best and has the good counter picks, and obviously is like just insane off stage. So yeah. Okay, so after that, you start moving into the second tier, and the second tier is going to be Greatsword first. And this is hard for me because I don't play Greatsword, and I have yet to see anyone at all good at this weapon. So it is hard to place it somewhere, right? If no one is scaring you with this weapon, you don't know how good it is, right? So I'm gonna leave it there. The reason I'm gonna leave it there is because a lot of people are threatened by it, and they do say it has the capability to be good. And I do see what they're saying, where people go, "You can't actually punish anything on the ground." But I do also feel like we have time to look and learn. Oh, I also forgot to put Scythe here. Scythe is as good as Sword, by the way, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. It's as good as Sword. A tier down, just because it's slightly worse than Sword, but it's about the same place as Sword. Harder than Sword, so I'll put it below. But yeah, that's Greatsword. Greatsword also has a good matchup into a lot of things. I think if you can outrange Greatsword, which guns can do, I'll get to guns later, which axe can do, spear can do, bow can do to an extent, you're going to be in a good spot. But other than that, you're going to be finding yourself in a position where Greatsword is kind of taking over you, mainly because you can just do whatever move you want over and over again, and no one can actually do anything to handle it. But yeah, so Greatsword goes there, and then you'll get into the more like obvious stuff that you're aware of. I will put spear here, guitars here, orb here. I think guitars are better than orb after that nerf, and I want to put hammer back here, and I'll leave it at that right now. So yeah. Uh, so last patch, uh, Hammer was really good because it built damage really fast, KO'd you consistently, and there was really no answer to it besides weapons like bow, gauntlets, and sword, which would basically your plan would be to float above Hammer and just trying to punish its grounded moves. Now, punishing its grounded moves were hard because they had no recovery frames, but if you look at the patch that we just got, you can see recovery frames added to the grounded moves, which is what you're looking for now. Honestly, if you pick Hammer into this weapon, which is sword, gauntlets, bow, you're just not gonna have a fun time because you're just not gonna be able to do anything. All the weapons above Hammer right now, I think, just beat it in neutral way too many times. And like you just float against Hammer. So when someone jumps to contest you, right, and you have Hammer and they jump to contest you, no, when you're jumping and Hammer jumps to contest you in the air, you just attack because you are faster than it. Sword is faster than Hammer in the air, and it just beats it while floating. So Hammer can't be on the ground, and being in the air is not a safe place either. So what are you really gonna do? Nothing. You're going to lose. That's why Hammer is gonna be so low this time. Maybe in the second tier list, I'm gonna have changed my mind, and Hammer is gonna go back up. But I don't think Hammer is that good right now because, like I said, you just float above it. Nothing's gonna happen. All right, so moving into the bottom tiers, I would put Lance, Axe, Guns, and Canon. As I said, I'm probably not going to use this tier, and we just confirmed that I'm not going to use it. So, all right, let's go. Lance is still going to build damage kind of okay. As you can see here, it got a number of nerfs. It got a nerf to Neutralite, recovery time, got a nerf to Downlight, got a nerf to Nair. And got a buff to down air, which is a trade buff, which is not relevant because you don't actually care about this move and you barely use this move. The only time you use this move is when you get it out of sidelight. You don't ever use this move in neutral, and you can go watch Koslik's play. He rarely ever uses this move. 9 times out of 10, if you're on the ground and he wants to hit you, he falling nairs you. The problem with that is now you can't falling nair because of how the hitbox works now. So that's why I dropped so far. I literally played Koslik's last tournament, and the games were pretty close. And I will say that every single game I played him in, I felt like Axe was dog shit. I mean, Lance was dog shit minus Nair, and Nair was the only thing that gave you any threat at all. Now that Nair doesn't give you that same threat, now that you have an area where you can stand against Nair, I think Lance is going to fall really hard. I don't think Lance is playable into sword. There's no way, and there's no logical way you can play Lance into sword and bow right now with these nerfs. Maybe, like I said, I will meet him in tournament again, and he will prove me completely wrong. But just off reading this patch alone, and like I said, the patch came out less than a week ago. So we're still going off just early basis here. I would say that Lance is pretty low on the tier list once again. Axe, okay. Axe does nothing. In ones, in twos is a different situation. This isn't a twos tier list though. Axe does nothing. Axe has sidelight, and that's it. Everything on sword will beat out Axe. Everything on gauntlets should beat out Axe. Bow will outrange Axe at every position. Axe actually just does nothing besides have Stare, which just got nerfed. You can't even use it like that anymore. So I don't understand what you're going to be doing with Axe. Honestly, Axe is worse than Guns, and Guns are fucking terrible. So the reason Guns are so low is because, like I said, I think they lose to every single weapon up here. They just got a nerf to downlight damage, and then that also affects downlight recovery's kill percentage. Not by a lot, but downlight recovery will be killing 2 damage earlier now, which is relevant to Guns. They're losing downlight, sidelight, nair, which is a bunch of damage that they had, which is honestly like the only thing that even kept them in contention for a weapon. Now you're not really going to be seeing them. You play Guns, and then a sword player floats next to you and hits you. A gauntlet player is in your zone. Qatar matchup is like unplayable once again because of dash impulse. I just don't think Guns are worth playing right now, especially with how difficult they are to play. I'm surprised they even got nerfed the last patch with Cody being the only high level player being able to play them. We saw Sandstorm play Nyx, and while it looked good, it looked surprising, it wasn't enough. He lost to fucking Witty's Terrace. So I don't think Guns are all they're caught up to be, whatever the saying is. Cody Travis is just a fucking insane animal. That guy's just a beast. So I think he'll be doing okay with these, but I'm really surprised that it happened. That being said, Canon. So Canon just took a big drop from here to here. And why that happened is because now Sidelight Sarah is jumpable from a lot of areas that you hit raw. And yeah, that was the only move. Congratulations, you just nerfed the weapon's only move. Now we will peacefully await for you to revert the weapon from the rework that you did because the rework sucks. Okay, that is my weapons tier list for this batch. I will now take any questions from chat. So I will look at chat. You guys can't see chat in the YouTube video, but you can, maybe you guys have some questions here too. So chat, if you want to ask anything for the next couple time, I will answer it. And you can go ahead. Or I'll just scroll up and see some other stuff. Twos, I'm not gonna make a, I mean, I could make a twos weapon tier list, but I don't feel like there's a point. So I'm not gonna make it right now. What did you say about hammers matchups? I said all these weapons up here, plus guitars, are really good into hammer because they're able to just float above its hitboxes. Legends tier list, that comes next. Hammer is not that bad. It is though. Guns, yeah, guns got nerfed really hard, and they've been getting nerfed patches in a row, like over and over again. Why is hammer so low? Because every weapon above it has insane counterplay into it. And what else? Scythe matchups. Scythe I feel like Scythe has the same matchups as Sword. Do you think Cody will get grands after this patch? Probably. Cody's really good, and he's been practicing Petra. Nair is a thing. Okay, you're floating above hammer, and then they jump near you, and then before they're even off the ground and their Nair is starting up because it's a slow startup, you dare them on your instant startup there on Sword. Like, it just doesn't matter. You cannot jump into the air and not be reacted to with these weapons because these weapons are so insanely fast, so it doesn't matter. And if you really don't understand what I'm talking about, like, think about it. A sword player is floating above you, you jump into him, and he does an instant dare, he's just playing it badly. It's really simple counterplay. So Val now is an insane pick. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the character tier list, and you're gonna see. What about Gaunt's dare into Hammer Nair? It gets clapped. Gauntlets, that jumping thing is more for GC downlight. You don't really try to dare on Gauntlets. Daring on Gauntlets isn't that good. You just want a GC D-light. So was Bow a great weapon overall before the patch since nothing happened to it? Bow was solid before the patch, and the only reason you didn't play Bow was because Hammer was better than it, Canon was better than it, Sword was like slightly better than it. Sword's not better than it. They're like even now. I feel like you can flip these however way you want them. The way I have them is because I think these two are equal, and Gauntlet's slightly better than Sword because of the 3 hits. But Sword has 3 hits too with Downlight Dare and GCN Light, Downlight Dare Recovery. But Bow beats Gauntlets, which is why I have it this high. But the Bow characters, which you'll see in the Legends tier list in a second, are honestly dumb right now. So you will see what I'm talking about. Greatsword, like I said, everyone's like saying that there's a lot you can do with it. I haven't seen it, so I don't want to just like place it super high. I'm placing what I'm seeing and what I'm knowing. When I see Greatsword do some super shit, then we can talk about that. Like, I'll put an asterisk next to Greatsword and say subject to change. How about that? But yeah, I want to end this here so we can move on to the Legends tier list. I don't know if these will come out in the same day on YouTube, so if you're seeing this one, it'll definitely come out before the Legends tier list, which will maybe come out the next day. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, the YouTube, the Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.